From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth here at my bar, of course, at Tommy Mags, where we always talk a little sports, business, and life, and all are welcome. It's Biz Champions time. That means Scott Mills is here from Branded Brewski, because they are our sponsor in the Biz Champions segment here on The Horse's Mouth. He brought a friend, owner of Calico Cactus, and a restaurateur, if you will. Let's welcome in the panel. The two Scotts are here, Scott Moore and Scott Mills. Hey, Scott Moore, how are you? Hey, Scott Mills, what's happening,
good to see you again.
It's good to have you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, brother.
So Calico Cactus in St. Augustine, 3 weeks you've been open. Tell us about the restaurant first and foremost.
Yeah, to take it back, when we opened, so people don't know, we opened Maple Street Biscuit Company.
Yeah, I was getting to that, but that's okay.
Jacksonville
That's okay.
story.
Yep.
Well, what's important about it is that when we opened it, nobody knew what a biscuit company was. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I had three ladies, we're doing our build out one night, and I had three ladies walk in the San Marco location, the first one we're doing it, and I was trying to explain to them what we're doing.
Yep.
They couldn't get their heads around it. And they're like, they asked me this question, do you think you can sell enough biscuits to pay the bills? And I went home that night a little discouraged, thinking about, well, yeah, I thought I'd figured this out. Here's the crazy thing now.
Yeah.
There are so many biscuit companies out there, people who've copied us. And
Vicious.
Yes, Vicious Biscuits out
they come to
there.
mind.
And they're doing great with what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'd been looking after Maple Street. What's that next big thing? What
Okay.
is it here? And so I'd been watching breakfast tacos, and if you're in Austin, Texas, everybody eats breakfast tacos
Yep.
and coffee and chips and queso for breakfast.
Okay.
It's just the world that they live in.
Yeah, sure.
Starting to move out through Texas, I think the rest of the United States, once they get to try it,
Yeah.
they're going to be eating breakfast tacos with chips and queso and a full barista
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
So we're doing this, and people are saying the same thing, like, well, people eat enough breakfast tacos with chips and queso, and I think the answer is yeah. So here we are in St. Augustine.
Well, think about what people put on their eggs. They put chili sauce, they put hot sauce, they put all types of
What's
stuff.
that? Well, we got
So-
6 breakfast tacos,
Yeah.
6 we call them breakfasty, lunchy, but
Yep.
they're 6, and they all have eggs on them,
Yep.
and so that you get those, but they're 6. You can get all the tacos all day long. But here's the neat thing, because I think this is what people are looking for, is authenticity. We think about we're making food for our friends and neighbors.
Yep.
The tortillas are made from scratch, right out in front of you.
Okay.
We got a whole station there. We can pop out 500 right away. But you see the one that you're seeing come out may be the one that's going to be your taco.
Right.
It just goes right from there to there.
Yeah.
All the sauces are made from scratch. We roast all our own vegetables. We make
Okay.
our own queso. We fry our own corn. People are loving the corn chips, fresh fried.
Yeah.
We have a house-made queso, 4 cheese, and it's got a kick to it.
Okay.
I like a little spice.
Yeah.
And so, but everything's from scratch. And,
Are
and
we
just-
breakfast,
yeah.
lunch, brunch, or what are we
We're
talking?
open 7 to 3, 7 days a week.
Nice. Good
That's,
time.
What's crazy to me, Tom, is that you'll see people. They'll come in the morning and they'll get a latte, and they'll have their chips and queso that they split between somebody.
Yeah.
And then they have their 2 tacos.
Yeah.
And that's what they're eating for breakfast.
Sure.
I think it's a whole new world.
I'm protein in that. I'm all for it.
You get a lot of protein in there. Well,
Yeah.
we got a couple with some brisket, which are
Yeah.
so good.
I bet.
That's out of there, and then we got a pork. All the sauces are made from scratch. So,
Yep.
but yeah, open 3 weeks. The community has been fantastic
Yeah,
so far.
St. Aug's awesome.
Yeah, we're right on US 1, right there on the Intercoastal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Have
great.
to come down there and try it. All right,
Yeah.
so these are awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
So we say it's a modern taco shop.
Yep.
And so when we did Maple Street, it was this comfort food with a modern twist, and everything got filtered through that brand identity. I always say this about a concept, and I have a lot of people who are going to open a restaurant and say, "Hey, could you talk to us about
Yeah,
it?" And,
yeah, I can.
and certainly want to. And one of the things I always tell them is, when people walk into your place, you want them to say this: "It's a complete thought."
Yep.
That everything
Right.
makes sense. It connects. The menu, the experience,
Yep.
the
The
decor,
service.
the
Yep.
service model.
Yep.
Everything. It's a complete thought.
Yep.
And so Maple Street was everything got filtered through this comfort with mod twist. Scott made our coffee mugs from day one.
Yeah, that's
that we had.
cool.
We had this. It was a big, heavy mug that kind of
Diner
a
mug,
retro
yeah.
feel
Yep.
with it, and now a lot of people are using that mug now.
Yeah.
But that's great. But
Yeah.
but it was a complete thought. And
Yep.
so that was, we went to this modern taco shop, because we're not seeing ourselves per se just as Mexican.
Yep.
We have Fresh Tortillas as the platform in which we are serving this breakfast food, but it's a modern way of looking at things. This is a whole new, we think, place. And,
Yeah.
and so the coffee mug had to support this. And so Scott sent me a catalog that I had to go through online and find the right
I said more
modern
information you can
coffee
handle.
mug. But here's the funny thing. Yesterday, I was showing up and get myself a refill on coffee, and the lady walks up to me at the coffee station, and she goes, "I love these mugs."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "That's exactly what we're looking for." So
Yeah.
a complete thought.
Yeah.
And so if you walk into Calico Cactus, we hope that everything, when you look at it, you just stand there in the front door when you look around, and it'll look like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
A good mug with a good pour
Oh,
always
yeah.
goes great together.
Well, there's
Right.
never enough coffee.
That's
so
right.
It's one of the things that I'm adamant about free refills.
Yeah.
You,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, one cup's not enough.
All right, what'd you take from Maple Street, and on a positive side, and what'd you learn? Maybe not so positive that you're bringing with you into
Yeah. Well,
Calico Cactus.
I'd say the last part of that question is probably the most critical.
Okay.
There's so many things at Maple Street that the team did right. I mean, we went from, one store to 6 years later to 36 community stores.
Yep.
And people who know we had no restaurant experience.
Right. Right.
It shouldn't have worked that way. It should have failed. But there's also a lot of things that we got wrong. And as we were developing Calico Cactus, spent a lot of time in saying, how can we do this? So one of the challenges we always had at Maple Street was we're always busy on Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
And that's great for a breakfast brunch. That's what you're looking for. But our ticket times could get long. We're making things from scratch,
Right.
but it can get 30, 40 minutes on Saturday and
Right,
Sunday.
right.
And we were never able to get over that hump. And so in developing this concept, we really focused on how can we have fresh food from scratch all day,
Yep.
and yet how can we keep it at like a 5-minute, 6-minute ticket time? And so we developed this model.
Yep.
Right now with the platform we've got, we've been able to keep 6-minute ticket times
Wow.
all 3 weeks. And that's with a relatively new team.
Yeah.
And so that was a big learning. Second was, at Maple Street, we never could really be seen as healthy.
Right. Right.
It's an indulgent experience, which is great. I love the indulgent.
No, right.
The sausage gravy there
No, right,
is
yeah,
as good
yeah,
as you get.
yeah.
But we tried. We put salads on the menu for a while, and it
Yeah.
didn't really get us there. And so this platform allows us to be seen as healthy. We have some vegetarian options that are on
Okay.
there.
Gluten-free?
Everything's from scratch. Don't have the gluten-free, but we do have corn tortillas
Okay,
if you
yeah.
want it as an option.
Good. Good.
So some of those learnings really
Yeah.
was, how could we even be better?
Right.
Okay, Maple Street's a great story in itself. In fact, I think here's the thing. It's a Jacksonville story.
Yeah.
It's a community story.
Sure.
When Cracker Barrel bought us, the Daily Journal told me that when they put the article out, it was the most read article they'd ever had.
All right.
And it just made me feel so good because
Yeah.
it's a Jacksonville story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the people were so excited about it.
Yeah.
And so Calico Cactus is kind of the next version of
Yeah.
our community story.
That's so cool. It sounds like, at least thinking out loud while you're talking. So, as a restaurant, you got to figure out, am I fast casual or am I sit down? And you wanted it more fast casual, kind of like a Chipotle, right? You go in, you order your
Yeah.
food, you sit down, they bring it, or they give it to you, or bring it to you, whatever, and then you eat and you're on your merry way.
Yeah, we bring it to you on this model here, but
So, like a Denny's knows they're gonna be there for a while.
exactly.
Right, but that's built into the model. I never even thought like that's how I'm not a restaurateur, so I would. I'm just a bartender. But you know what I mean? Like that you would have to. Yeah, okay. So that's part of our model. They're going to be here 30 to 45 to 60 minutes, and that's okay.
People are going to come in. They're going to spend their 15 minutes, 20 minutes eating their food, no matter how fast that they get it.
Right.
So if you take 5 minutes to get it to them, or you take 20 minutes,
Right.
that seat's tied up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either
And if you're only open 7 to 3, like Denny's is what,
Exactly.
24/7.
Yeah.
Turnover is
Yeah.
key.
And,
Right.
and that's I had one of our team members' husband came to me and said, I can't believe you're not open for supper.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the whole point.
Right.
Nobody in this space is being open the hours we are.
Right.
Everybody who has tacos
Yep.
is open for lunch and dinner. Nobody's playing in this space
Right.
in the full way, committed to it. Now, I'd say this, every coffee shop you go to has a breakfast burrito, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's because people want it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just saying, hey, if you want it,
Come
we're
to
going
us.
to give it to
Yeah.
you, and we're going to give it to you in a really special way.
Yeah.
Made from scratch, really fast, in a casual environment.
Yep.
We have some real fun ways which we engage the guests to make connections with them. And to me, because it's a community store,
Yep.
we always have somebody who's on the floor who's really just connecting with the guest.
Yeah. Making sure everything's okay.
It
Getting
is.
what you need.
But that's the last thing we check. We always check the food last. The first thing is get to know you, get you tied to what our mission is and what we're trying to do.
Right.
And then the last thing is how's the food. And if it's ever wrong, just do whatever it takes to make it right.
That's right. That's right. It's so important.
Yeah.
So important. Service and food quality, right? I mean, in that world.
And branding your tabletop.
And branding. Absolutely. Fellas, thanks so much. Scott, thanks for bringing in Scott. Two Scotts, man. It was great. Keep up the
It's
good
all,
work.
it's really a success story. I tell your story all the time to people that are thinking about branding their tabletop with coffee mugs or glassware or anything. In that, you look at Maple Street Biscuit Company, and this went from one little store where nobody really knew that this thing was going to, and it blew up into 36 locations.
Yeah.
It was a pretty amazing story.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up with the saying on your wrist, because that'll be good for people out there that are thinking about jumping into the restaurant business. What is on your...
Yeah, I wear this band, and actually I bought it for my whole family to have the same band too. All my
Okay.
grandkids, everything. It says, take the next step, live by faith.
There you go.
Take the next
Leap
step,
of faith,
live
baby.
by faith.
There you go. Learn from your past mistakes,
do.
whatever, your success. Take that leap of faith. I like it. Thanks, guys, for being here. Really appreciate it. And you can check out both Scott's profile and this conversation and so many others. Go to the dailynewsnetwork.com website. You can see it all there. So until next time, stay safe out there and be cool. And we'll see you right here on the Horses Mouth. Cheers.